There are some epic moments in this film which gives you high, but those highs don't remain with you once you come out of the theater. Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and today we're talking about the latest Tamil film Karnan, written and directed by Mari Selvaraj, starring Dhanush, Lal, Yogi Babu, Rajisha Vijayan, Natarajan Subramaniam and many more. So I've actually reviewed the first Mari Selvaraj film, Pariyerum Perumal, you can check it out here. Now before I get into the film, just a disclaimer that I'm not well versed in Tamil cinema, Tamil culture or history of Tamil Nadu. And I'm definitely sure because I don't know these things, I missed out a lot. So you have to take this review with a pinch of salt. Now I remember watching the teaser for this and I felt it was okay. There was no trailer for it, so I had very less knowledge about what I'm going in for. Now the first impression I had for the film was as if I'm watching a folklore unfold. It felt like a fantasy film to me and I love fantasy films. That's one of my favorite genre. The visuals we see, the music, everything is so good. I'm already engrossed and engaged in the film. And there are some powerful images in this film. The first scene itself, it is so haunting and it hooks you instantly. The editing is very different in this film and I did notice it throughout the film. We get quick flashes of the upcoming scene in the present scene to build up to that scene, and it happens a lot of times in the film as if they are trying to set up the upcoming scene already, giving us hints and clues, and when we reach the next scene we understand all the clues. We see in the film how people in power are trying to suppress and oppress these people just to show their dominance, and we see how they are pushed down so much that they burst out and they fight back. Now I am someone who believes violence is not an answer to anything, but the film takes us to a point where there is no other way and violence seems the only way to fight back. They make them fighting back convincing, and we as audience feel satisfied because that anger was building in us also, and when that anger in the characters releases in the film, we also feel relieved. So now I'll be getting into the spoilers, so if you haven't seen the film, stop it right now, go watch it and then come back. Also we'll be doing a live session on this film, so to get that, do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notification whenever we go live. And if you're finding value in the video, do hit the like button because when you do that, YouTube promotes this video more we can watch it. We need to talk about that interval scene. That was so good. I felt pumped after watching it. And there's a symbolism going on. We see them destroying a bus, but that bus stands for the oppression the authority is putting on them. That bus represents all the pain they had to go through because there was no bus stop to them. The bus never stopped there. Again, violence is not an answer, but even I was so fed up that I wanted to get into the screen and at least break one of the windows of that bus. And that's a testament of how good the filmmaking is, that I feel the same emotions that the characters are feeling in the film. And there was a moment I realized in the film that the tombstone at that place belonged to a sister. Now Karnan, played by Dhanush, we see that he has a very bad temper throughout the film and he picks a fight every damn time. I wish there was an explanation to that, why he's like that, why he's so different than all the other members of the village. We see that he is not the best person depending on how you look at it. He mishandles people, he doesn't even let go of his girlfriend, and a lot of times when he was fighting with Lal's character, he was in a fight, all of them were shouting and all, it really irritated me, and that's not a fault of the film at all. See, you have to understand my situation. I don't understand the language, so for me it's gibberish, right? And I'm trying to read the subtitles quickly because they are speaking so fast. I'm trying to focus on the subtitles, but they're talking so loudly, they're arguing, and that's totally fine. That's how people fight. But to me, I'm hearing gibberish, they're shouting, I'm getting irritated because I cannot focus on the lines. They're quickly going. Again, that's not a problem of the film. That's my problem. But that does hamper my experience. Really like the family dynamics, the mother, the sister, the father. The whole village was really well set up. There was this world building to it. They fight with the neighboring village, the bus stop issue. Everything is very well set up in the film and they take their time to set it up. I do feel the film is long, but I don't know what could have been cut out. Everything is important in the film. You do feel exhausted at the end. Really like that moment between Lal and that old lady. That was really cute. Rajisha Vijayan was really good. Whenever she's on the screen, she demands your attention. But I do feel her character didn't have much to do in the film. It was mostly a side plot to the main story. Definitely a very strong female character. She holds her own in front of Dhanush, but very inconsequential. It was refreshing to see Yogi Babu not as a comic character and playing a serious role. In the film, we see a lot of shots of the animals and various animals throughout the film. Every time a scene would get over, we would get a shot of an animal. And I was trying to figure out why they are doing it. Now the donkey metaphor was very obvious. I knew that would come back, he'll release it and he'll unleash his anger too. He'll fight back, and that's what happens. One more thing I noticed is there's a lot of close-ups of the feet of people. People walking, people standing. We see a lot of close-ups of that. Again, I don't know what it was trying to say. Maybe that these people work hard, they are the people who are close to the ground, maybe doing things which are considered very low in society. We see that the village is very patriarchal in thinking. Now this is set in 1997, so it makes sense. There's no development in the village because of the fighting, because of the oppression. The one with the power wants to suppress the other. And when you see it as a bigger picture, it's basically two communities and the one with power trying to suppress the other. And you can take that in any context in the world, be it caste, religion, race, country, whatever. In the second half, we also see the police brutality. And scenes like this throughout the film, where people are getting oppressed or beaten up, which fill you with anger, they stretch a lot. They don't end quickly. The film takes its time. They want to show you each and every blow. They'll not let you go. They'll make you uncomfortable. They'll make you sit there and watch it for as long as they can. And it does work. It makes you uncomfortable. You want it to get over fast. Okay, let's go ahead. No, you have to watch it because this is what happens with people. I like that in the film there's no direct reference of caste or anything. It's all in the subtext. We know why the police inspector is asking them to remove their turban, because he feels he's superior, and how dare they wear turban in front of him. How can they stand up in front of him, right? We clearly assume what it is. It doesn't have to be said on screen to us directly. It doesn't have to be spoon-fed to us. And I like that fact because it makes the film more relevant to more people and not just to that area or the state, that anyone in the world can relate to it. Coming to the climax, again that whole war sequence, if you may call it. Again, it goes on for so long. The film wants you to see the atrocities done by the police. Now coming to Lal's sacrifice. Throughout the film, I felt the writing for the character was a little weak. I was not sure what he is, because sometimes he would act in some way, sometimes he would act in another way. And at the end, when they all were fighting, what was the point of, some people taking him inside and saving him? I know he's old, they want to maybe protect him, but everyone is getting beaten, right? At some point, you will be getting beaten. So at least go out and, fight. But these 4 people are just hiding in a house while other people are getting beaten. And then Lal is looking at that and crying. And then he thinks of, I'll burn myself. So it did feel forced. It didn't feel organic. Now again, the ending, I felt it was a little rushed. I felt there was something missing, I felt the film established so much in the first half. There are so many things. The whole thing with the sister, her roaming around with the mask. Now, I was not expecting a supernatural thing, but I was expecting more from that. I felt like the film was building up so much, but at the end, it doesn't pays off that much. And I felt underwhelmed after watching the climax. And then we see 10 years have gone by, and then Dhanush comes back, and that's it, the film ends there. And I'm left there thinking, what is the film trying to say? Is the film just telling a tale about this village and the story, what transpired there, or is trying to give a big message out of this? Is it giving a solution to the problem? I'm confused what the film is trying to do. For example, I'm not comparing, but like in Asuran, right, the last dialogue by Dhanush to his son, right, study, education is the key, knowledge is the key to fight the oppression and come out of it. So that film is kind of giving a message. I understand the point of the whole film, but here I'm confused. I don't know what the film is trying to say, and it can be anything. I'm not saying there has to be a social message, but I'm saying I'm left confused, but because I don't understand what the film is trying to do at the end. Coming to the acting by the supporting cast, the inspector and the sub-inspector, I felt it was very cliche. Even the neighboring village, it again felt very cliche. Everyone in the village were really good. More time was spent on them, so it makes sense. Now, of course, I had to watch Bhardwaj Rangan's review of this movie because I had so many mixed feelings and mixed thoughts. And he's mentioned in his review that the film is very much inspired from various films in Tamil industry. It's very much inspired from Mahabharat, which I totally didn't see. I knew the names are from Mahabharat, but I couldn't connect the dots. But the film is inspired from very different take of Mahabharat, not the one I know, because there are very different versions of it around the country. Also, the inspector's name is basically Krishna, but even in the subtitles it was from K, but it was something else. So I couldn't connect that. I don't know Krishna is called that in Tamil Nadu or those region. See, again, as I said in the beginning, there are a lot of cultural things I don't know. I don't know the history of Tamil Nadu that much. I read on Wikipedia that it is inspired from some riots that happened there. So again, I watched this movie without all this context. Maybe that's the reason I don't understand it really well. And I totally accept that. As I said, you have to take my review with a pinch of salt. Maybe years later when I understand the context behind the film better and then I watch it, I may enjoy it better and like it better. But still, there are some things in the film, which I feel there was so much potential, but we never explored it. The first impression of the film I had, being a folklore, a fantasy tale with his sword and all this mythology behind it, it never panned out that way. And that's why I would say, the film missed the mark for me. So guys, those are my thoughts on the film. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, share the video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, check out the videos. If you like them too, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.